Today I will be talking about all the planner and journals that I've been using for 2025. So this is sort of like a mid-year review of my planner journal lineup, or my planner journal ecosystem, as some people say. So I'm pretty excited. I've always loved watching people's videos about a system of planner and journals to organize their life and their thoughts. And it's always interesting to see how everyone differs so much in their system. And so I kind of want to just jump onto the train to also show you how I've been using all of my books. And some books are also really new, like 1 month new. So to just give you an overview, I just have these 4 books with me, and they're all pretty small size, A6 or this is called a personal ring size or Bible size. They all have similar size. You can tell like I have a preference for a certain size of a book. And I have a Hobonichi Hon A6 for my work planner. I have a Midori Hibino for my journal for 2025. I have a plotter, it's a ring binder in a personal ring size, or a Bible size as they call it. And it is my life planner and tracker system. And this is my most recent purchase, which is a A6 MD notebook inside an A6 Hobonichi cover that I close it with a pen loop in between the butterfly pen loops here. And to give an overview, basically I have these 2 books specifically for to-dos, where be it work or personal life. And I have these 2 books that's more of like my creative expression, where in over here I will journal and write out my thoughts. And this is actually my art journal, where I will just practice sketching and drawing. Out of these 4, this is the first planner that I purchased. So this is actually the whole reason why I got into this rabbit hole of this planner community. Is I was just searching for a good planner to use for work, and this Hobonichi original sort of layout was perfect to me. All I wanted was a notebook that is dated every single day, and it has a timeline to write down my schedules, and plenty of space to just write my to-dos. And this, when I saw this layout, I was like, this is exactly what I need for work. And so I got it, and I was blown away by the quality. It just looks so beautiful, and I love it so much. I also love the cover so much. Look at this. This is just so beautiful. And I sort of just fell into this rabbit hole. I started researching about Hobonichi, and that led me to research about other planners and other journals, and how people have been using all these Hobonichi products. And that is when I realized that most people don't seem to use Hobonichi products as a pure planner. Like, they don't just use it to write their to-dos, they actually use it to journal and express creatively, which was very interesting to me, because I've always just been using plain free notebooks that I would get like by going to conferences, or sometimes you go to some meetings or some school events and they'll just give you a free notebook. And those free notebooks have always been my journal. And because they're free, the paper quality is not that good. The way the book is bound is not good too. So I've never had that fantastic of an experience journaling. And also they're undated, so I would journal for like a week, and then the book will get abandoned. And so when I saw that people have been using these Hobonichi products, these like dated books, they are so beautiful and with such good it's seemingly good quality paper. I've heard that the paper quality have been deteriorating, but I don't know about that because I've only used it this year. So that got me thinking, when after I bought this book, is like, maybe I should also buy a dated book for my journal, because I do like to journal, and I've never actually successfully journaled every single day. So that is why I bought my Midori Hibino as a journal. It's also a very simple layout. It's just 2 blank pages every single day. And yeah, so this is my second purchase for the 2025 year. I first got this Hobonichi Hon, and then I realized that maybe I should also try a daily dated journal. So I got this. And when I got this, so when I first have these two, I was like, okay, I'm set. I have a book for my to-dos and book for my my thoughts, I guess. So 2 different types of users. And it's only halfway through the first month of using this that I realized that I don't have a space to write my to-dos for my life stuff, because before I have this Hobonichi Hon, I actually have all my to-dos like in Notion. That includes my work to-dos and my personal to-dos, but I have since changed job into a job that kind of requires me to have a better work and life separation because of how my job is right now. So I have not been using my work planner to plan out my life, and I tried to use my journal to plan out my life, and I realized that that's not really working as well, because I don't want to take away space from me to fully use these 2 pages to journal and express myself and vent and talk about my day, right? These 2 pages, even though there's 2 pages, there's still 2 A6 pages, so the space can be limiting, and I would like more space to just journal. And so that this comes to the third purchase of my lineup, my plotter, which is specifically for planning what to do every day once I get home. Yeah, so for a long time, it has just been these 3 books that has served me well. At work, I only use this book. At home, I would use these 2 books. First, I will use my plotter to basically be like, okay, what should I do today? What habits am I trying to achieve? What personal projects I'm trying to get done? And then, I end off the day by opening up my journal and just writing about my day. So these 3 books have been working really well. And then this last book right here is a sort of a surprise. So I've never really done much art. Like, I don't really draw much. I like to write more than I draw. But I guess I was kind of very inspired to draw after I went on, it's a little funny, after I went on a hike. And I saw how beautiful nature is. And I was like, I want to try, instead of just taking a photo, because I always go on hikes and take a gazillion photos, something just occurred to me that maybe I should try to sketch what I saw. And I actually took out a page from my plotter. I took out a page and I just like sketched something. It was really bad, but it was really fun. I kind of want to try to do this more often, and also put in a little bit more effort to practice sketching, so I wouldn't be that bad. Like, I'm not trying to be good at drawing, but I don't want to be terrible. So that's why I bought this art book to sort of practice sketching, drawing, and yeah, maybe one day I will be good enough that I would dare to bring this out with me on a hike and sketch the views, but we'll see. Okay, I think right now I also kind of want to go through a little bit about how I've been using each of these journal/planner. So this is my work planner, and it's a workhorse. Basically, this gets tossed around. Well, to be honest, this is just on my work desk most of the time. But whenever I need to sort of work from home or think about work at home, I'll just toss this in my bag. It's very portable, and I have this plastic cover basically protecting this cover, so I feel a little bit better tossing this around. And I have a pen pouch that basically holds a highlighter and the Hobonichi pen that has 3 colors, which is very useful for note taking. And the way I use this notebook is, let me show you. So I would basically just use it as it is designed. I write down the what I need to do on the timeline right here, And then on the other side, there's a secret, beyond the secret line that they have, I will write down all of my to-dos in order, and I will basically, you know, cross it off if it's done. If it's not done, I will transfer it to the next day. And then there's this like space right here with the check boxes. I don't actually use the check boxes for to-dos anymore. I use this space to sort of note down like the biggest thing I need to focus on today. Yeah, just to sort of like a reminder. And I do have a lot of space left over by the end of the day, which could be very useful for me to jot down like notes about a meeting that I just had. So this is how I've been using it. And I've also been using these tags on the side. So for example, I jot this down about this meeting that I had, and I would just like tag it on the side. So all of the tags on the side are tags, like there's a bunch of tags on the side. They are all tags about whenever I have jotted down notes or wrote down a full page of notes about my project. So every now and then I would look through them to see what I need to remember. And I also have tags on the top part of the book. So on the side, I'm tagging all the things that are relevant to my project. And then on the top, I'm tagging all the things that is relevant to my career progression. So they're not project related, but they are important in terms of like I attended this workshop or what you need to do to write proposals in general. So they're very general things that are useful to me, but they're not project related. So that's how I've been using my daily pages, and I've been tagging them with these tags. Oh, also, so every month you get this like extra page of blank space, and I will actually use it to just write down all the things I need to do for the month for my project. And then at the end of every month, I will actually go back to be like, hey, did I do this? Yes. Or like, I didn't actually do it. And then I'll sort of transfer it into the blank page of the next month. And the way I will use my monthly pages is actually very underused. I don't actually look at my monthly page that much. They're actually all on my work team's calendar too, so I don't actually refer to the monthly calendar that much. And this is how I've been using my perpetual calendar now. So my schedule is actually very, very flexible. And the way my work is that some days I will overwork a lot. And there are some days where there's nothing to do and I just want to go home early. So I sort of use this space to track how much I've been overworking or underworking, and whether or not I need to be more conscientious of whether I've been overworking or underworking. Just sort of to be mindful to myself, so I don't actually chronically overworking and burning out myself, or chronically underworking and not being productive enough. And I haven't been using it a lot recently though, so I might think about changing it up again. So this perpetual calendar is perpetually a dilemma for me as to how I should use this, especially because this is my work planner, so I don't really have like you can write a gratitude a day, things like that, because this is my work planner. So that's it for how I've been sort of using this Hobonichi Hon. Very useful, very portable, very simple to use, and very cute. I like it. And so now to talk about how I've been using my Midori Hibino journal. It's also another very, very simple layout. So how I've been using it is also very, very simple. So sometimes I would paste photos, and I will also make use of the timeline on the side. If there's a lot of things going on today, I like to write down like, these are all the different things I've done. It makes me feel good about myself. Makes me feel that I've been productive. And then I'll also journal about my day, and write the weather, write the summary of the day. And I do switch it up because this journal is very, very plain, so you can use it however you want. So sometimes I have a lot of colors, I have a lot of photos, and sometimes I just write this in all black ink and sort of just do a little a brain dump of like things that I want to get off my brain. So this is how I've been using my journal. I've been journaling every single day, and a lot of it is mostly just like writing, and writing of my day and of my thoughts of my day. And this is how I've been recently using the monthly calendar for my journal, where I just sort of paste photos. And so these are like all the biggest events that happened this month of May, and I sort of just like pasted it all over the monthly calendar, because I don't really use the monthly calendar to note down appointments anymore now that I have my plotter. So this is how I've been using the monthly calendar. It's like a memory keeper sort of thing. And then the Midori Hibino also comes with a 2-page future log, which I've been using to note down at the end of every month what are my favorite songs, my favorite food, my favorite memory of the month. I just sort of note it down. So hopefully at the end of the year, I can look back at all the memories that I have, and also interestingly see how my favorite songs have changed over the year. And yeah, so this is very quickly how I've been using my Midori Hibino. And as for my plotter, talking about my plotter is actually the first YouTube video that I made, because I was so excited to buy the plotter and open it up and use it. So I have a video about how I set up my plotter and how I've been using it. But that was, I would say that it's like maybe like the first few weeks of me using it, so I was still kind of new. So after a few months, the way I've been using this plotter has changed quite a lot. Firstly, you can see now that I have a band now to keep it closed. When I first saw the plotter, I do not like how the band looks. I think it's like black, and it's a little bit ugly compared to the rest of the binder, in my opinion. So I was very hesitant to get this. I actually didn't want to buy this, but after using it, for a few weeks, I realized I really need to make sure I can take this planner and throw it around. So this is actually the planner that I bring around with me the most. I bring it to work, I bring it back home, I bring it with me to my travels, I bring it everywhere, because this actually contains a lot of like what I need to think about most of the time. I mean, I don't really think about it at work, but like at the end of work, I would like to think about it, so I do carry it with me. So yeah, so I needed this to be like a workhorse, and so it's kind of hard to throw your planner around without like binding it with this book band, which is why I caved and got this instead. And I ended up actually liking how it looks. It doesn't look as ugly as I initially thought it would, and it's pretty easy to take out and put it on. And another big change of me using this plotter is that in the first time I used it, I was very focused on how beautiful this looks, and so when I use it, I want like everything inside to be kind of aesthetic as well. So I used to have like a cover in front, like a beautiful postcard of like the Mount Fuji in Japan. And so that I think I was sort of thinking that, I want this to be a beautiful experience. I open it and I will see a postcard. But I always start off things by focusing on the aesthetic. It rings true for all of my journals and planners as well. But after a few weeks of using, like I just want to focus on how it's usable. And so I removed everything that's aesthetic about this anymore. So you can tell it's kind of like very, very used out and beaten out now. But yeah, it just sort of shows that I've been using this a lot. And so instead of like a beautiful postcard in front, instead I have this little case right now, so that I use to keep a ruler in here, which is very useful. Sometimes I need to like draw certain lines in my trackers and my to-dos, and I also keep some like random ephemeras that I chance upon and I don't really know what to use them for. And at the back, I use them to keep some post-it notes. So I just take off like a few flaps of post-it notes and put it in here. And this has been really helpful actually, because you know, I kind of need this to like write like small notes to myself that I want to be able to toss out quickly. So I have it over here. And then once I open, the first page I will see is sort of like a very simple, no frills to-do list. And I don't know if you can realize this, but this is actually a Hobonichi. It's like a cutout from a Hobonichi notebook. So last year, sort of like right after I purchased this Hobonichi Hon for my 2025 use. So I bought this, I think, in September 2024 to be used in 2025. I decided to go to Amazon and buy myself a 2024 A5 Hobonichi VEC with like the July to December version, and to sort of just get used to this layout. But because I bought it in September and it's like a July to December book, I had a lot of extra pages, so I sort of like cut it out and made them into plotter page for me to just write down to-do list. So these are my to-do lists on the right. So because I'm right-handed, I will always keep my to-do list on the right so that I can just write without having to lean on the rings. I'm sure if you're left-handed, you can flip this entire orientation. And on the left, I have like this check marks that I can cross out. So I have these like recurring tasks that I need to do, like my weekly chores and what I need to just think about doing every single day, that I sort of write it down as over on the left side as a reference. And every week I will make sure that I have all this like weekly to-do chores checked off or crossed out. So this is how I've been using. This is like the most amount of used section of my plotter. And as you turn the pages, you see that like I always have like my right side pages blank, and whenever I fill up the page, I will actually turn it upside down. So as you can see over here on the left, this is all like my previous to-dos but flipped upside down, and you see it's the same for here too. So this is sort of how I've been using my using these pages to write my to-dos. And then I have my this little book band that comes with this little flap on this side, so that it acts sort of like a writing board. And after you turn this, now it comes to my many folders. That this is, I think, the reason why I would, if anybody were to ask me like, oh, why would I recommend using Plotter as a system versus a bound book, and I would say this is actually the reason. So I have all of this like little, they sell this thing called the project manager folders, and I actually do change what's in here a lot. So if this were all in a bind book, I would have so many pages just like crossed out and rewritten, and it would be pretty embarrassing to see. Whereas in Plotter, I can just toss out the page and rewrite a new one. So as an example, this is one of my folders. It contains all of my trackers. So I track. So this tracker is actually very new. It starts in April, right? I just like, this is the good thing about a ring binder, is that I can just add in a new thing I want to track into my tracker folder. So I use this to track something new. And then I have a gym tracker, so track how many times I've been exercising. So I'm pretty happy at how consistent I am, actually. And I also track my Japanese practice. So this is not only tracking how often I do it, I also sort of track like what I've been doing every day. So I try to vary the type of practice I do every day. And then so this is where my post-it note will come in handy as well. So every month I will reevaluate the previous month. And so for example, I noticed that in May I haven't been practicing enough. I sort of tried to understand why I haven't been practicing enough, and I came to the conclusion that maybe I've been forcing myself to practice way too much, and so because of that I haven't been practicing, because the amount of work I need to do to practice is too much. So I sort of just write down this post-it note. It's like every time I practice, I just make sure I just do one small thing that I can achieve in like 5 to 10 minutes. And then that's all I need. And I would say that that made me a lot more consistent this month. So I thought that was pretty good. So I will reevaluate whether this is working for me or not in the next month. And this tracker is my writing progress tracker. In my YouTube video about how I use my plotter, I also had a writing progress tracker, but I tossed that one. I remade a new one because I thought this looked a lot neater. And so the way I've been using this is just to sort of note down how many sessions or writing sessions I need to do to finish a chapter. So I'm writing a fiction novel right now. So every time there's like a open circle, it means that I am outlining the chapter. And then the filled up circle is that I'm actually writing the chapter from the outline. And I will note down like how many writing sessions it takes me to write a chapter. And also, in addition to the sessions, how many days in total from start to end did I take to write the chapter. I use this to sort of predict roughly how long do I need to get to finish this novel, which is a really long novel. I'm making myself write a really long sci-fi novel, and it's taking me forever. But it's a project that I just want to do for fun. And I also have an additional writing tracker to sort of track how many days I've been making myself write. And I will also reevaluate this at the end of every month. So I've also noticed that the amount of time I spend writing has dipped a lot in May. And so I also have been trying to adjust my life around that. And then I also have this last page. I call it rewards, but I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna reward myself. I don't know. I'm not very consistent at rewarding myself for the good things I've done. But I just sort of wanted to track like at what month did I actually hit the goal that I wanted to hit, which is to go to the gym more than 50% of the time, for example, or do Japanese practice more than 90% of the time. And this can also sort of let me see what months are good for me, like habit-wise. So March seems to be like the best month so far. I was able to hit my goal for gym, Japanese practice, and writing, and then I sort of like dwindled afterwards. But yeah, so this is like my folder for tracker, and I keep it together. I think it has been really helpful for me to look back every month to see what I need to adjust in my life to make sure I'm hitting my goals. And I'm also trying to not make the goals too daunting for me. It's just like to ensure that I am taking small steps towards what I want to do with my life. And I will occasionally add new goals for myself and see how it goes. The second folder over here is actually really exciting. It's new in that it is not in the original video I filmed about my plotter setup, but this is I call it my Techo Kaigi folder. So every time I've been thinking about a new planner or journal I should buy for 2026, I just dump my thoughts in here. So I have like a planner insert for the type of journal format I'm looking for next year. So like what I think works and what I think does not work. And then I have like a whole list of planners that I was like, maybe I should use this to consider my future planner and journal. So I have a whole list of planners, and I use this post-it tab to sort of be like, this is what I kind of leaning towards right now, as of right now. But it's very useful that I'm putting on a post-it note right now, because I am constantly wanting to change. So I think I'm right now actually leaning more towards to just buying another A6 Hobonichi Hon for my work planner again. So I'm moving it. And then I have like all of like my other planners for my life and what I would want to buy for next year. And actually right now there's only two pieces of inserts in this folder, but there's a time where there's like 6 different things in here where I have a full spread of insert just talking about why I want to buy this particular planner, which is, for example, I actually had a rabbit hole towards buying a traveler's notebook because a lot of people has it and it looks really beautiful, and the company that makes traveler notebook is also the company that makes plotter, which explains why I was very intrigued by the traveler's notebook. If I like how the plotter looks, I would like how the traveler notebook looks. I remember having 2 entire pages in this folder talking about how I would use it, what I would use it for, and I sort of took it out after a while because I realized that all the things that I've thought about and wrote about, I don't actually want to do it anymore. So I took it out and I put it in my insert storage. But as of now, this Techo Kaigi folder only has these two inserts. After the Techo Kaigi folder, I have this references folder, which is really helpful to refer to. So the first reference I have is the references for all the notebooks and their notebook sizes. So I write down the size of my plotter, the size of my A6 Hobonichi Hon, size of a traveler's notebook. This was when I was obsessed with the idea of maybe getting a traveler's notebook, and also a size of an A5, size of a Midori, things like that, just to sort of like let myself see the sizes. So if I am interested, if I come across a new planner or a new journal and I'm like, how does this size compare to the planner I have right now, and I can look into this reference and be like, oh, okay, this is exactly the same size as my Hobonichi, for example. So this reference has been really helpful, especially when in my Techo Kaigi folder spiraling days. And this is my other reference to look at colors. So I have a whole bunch of monoliners. I use them to color, especially in my art journal that I will talk about later. So I've been using this to sort of look at, to sort of refer to the color. And I have also the ink swatches, which currently only has 1 ink swatch, because I am very, very new to fountain pen. So I only have 2 of the most basic fountain pen, the Platinum Preppy and the Kakuno. So I only have these 2, and those are the cheapest one you can find in the market. And I used up the ink in the cartridges, and I was like, oh, I should, instead of buying more cartridges, is to buy some new inks and fill the old cartridge up with a new ink to test out whether or not I like to buy inks, basically. So because I've always just used black ink. So this is the first ink I've tried. I have a few more inks waiting to be tested in the future, but right now I only have 1 ink and I really like it. It's very, very pretty. It's like a pink, reddish pink color, and it flows really well in my Kakuno. And yeah, so that's all for what's in my reference folder. And lastly, I have my ideas folder. So these are other ongoing list of things on my mind. So I would say some of them is a little confidential, so I won't show it, but just whenever I have an idea about something, I will write it down in a list and put it in here. And then I have a pen test, and then I have some scrap paper, and then the last spine, like a little flap thing with a pen holder. And this is how I carry my pen around with me, and making this extremely portable and extremely like a workhorse to be thrown around and carry with me whenever, so that I can keep my life on track wherever I am. And yeah, so that's my plotter. And so now I kind of want to talk about my art journal, which is a little new. So it has been with me for maybe 1.5 months so far. It's very, very beautiful cream paper actually, and the paper quality actually blew me away. I thought that when I first got the Hobonichi Hon, I was blown away by what's inside. I thought the paper was really good. So I thought Hobonichi was a standard, which I think it has been quite a debate right now. But after buying this notebook, this is so much cheaper, and the paper just wows me even more actually. I actually like this paper a lot more. I would say this quality paper, in my very unprofessional, amateur opinion, I would say this paper is better. And so I've been using this empty notebook as sort of like a art journal. So to just sketch out. So I walked by Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco, took a photo and just like sketched out what I see. And I cut it in using my Marliner by looking at the reference that I showed you in my plotter. So yeah, and this is basically how I've been using. I've just been sketching out a little, and yeah, you can see I've just only been using these 3 pages so far. I still have so much left. So it has been very new, but it's sort of experimental, and I'm glad I got this to sort of try out this MD notebook, and confirming it that it is a very, very, very nice notebook. Very tempted to use this as my lineup again next year. Yeah, and so this is my Kakuno. And yeah, this is it. I think I have yet long enough, but this is basically all of my penna journal lineup. Why I bought them, how I've been using them, and I hope this has been interesting to you if you stumble upon this video. I love to hear about how and why people use their penna and journal ecosystem, and I hope this has been interesting to you as well. And so thank you for watching, and goodbye.